Hello, Professor Corbett. My name is Caroline Argote, and my group members were Jolene Villanueva, Amal Mohammed, Rachel Gaynor, and Natalie Nava. Um, so one of the questions you ask is how did we feel um, in these groups? So honestly, when you first announced that we were going to be talking about our beliefs or views with our group mates, I was a little nervous because I didn't know if we were going to have any similarities, if they were going to agree or disagree, or how vocal they would be if they would disagree. It was just a little nerve-wracking. Um, but when we met for the first time, um, it was actually pretty smooth. I feel like overall we connected well with each other. It was a little rocky though. There was one particular person who wasn't really participating. She wasn't really giving feedback, so I didn't know if she agreed. I didn't know where she stood with our articles. And it wasn't until the last meeting where she was talking about her articles where she kind of pulled in everybody's beliefs and tied it all together into her own as well, which was really neat to see, because she made me, particularly, she made me realize that we all were very common with our beliefs, even though we come from different backgrounds, with different ethnicities or religious beliefs even, um, we all came to the conclusion that like we don't understand why racism is still going on, how there's still injustices done to minority groups. Um, we're also we were surprised when our current president was so vocal about blurting out racist slurs. Um, there was one particular person who shared an experience that it was very sad. She was saying that when 9/11 happened, her sister didn't want to wear her hijab anymore because she was afraid that she was going to get targeted. So this all ties back into how racism still goes on in our community. We also talked about COVID because we are currently going through the pandemic, how COVID has impacted specifically the minority groups due to lack of resources or inadequate facilities to help these minority groups. And it honestly is an injustice because there was an article who talks about um, people who have died from COVID are generally people of color. Um, we also talked about our life goals. Some of us want to go into child welfare. So it was nice to see that we all had very similar views, and I feel like our ideas about race and discrimination will positively influence how we work and advocate for children and their families. I think I appreciate you doing this activity because it has really opened up my eyes to see that, like I said, even though we're so different, like we all share similar views and beliefs. And I think that's why a lot of us are going into social work, because we all want to advocate for people. We all want to advocate for minorities. So yeah, thank you, Professor Corbett.